Good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day 62 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour, RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery. A bicycle ride across America, farthest northwest point to farthest southeast point, to raise awareness that there are addiction recovery options available, that there's churches, celebrate recoveries, rescue missions, so many places nationwide and around the world that offer free help if you find yourself bound by addiction. If you are in that position, hey, find a way to contact me either through Facebook or drop a comment, and I would love to talk with you and tell you my testimony and what it took for me. Years and years and years of IV cocaine and opiate abuse. I got saved in 2007. Since 2007, I've had two separate surgeries, a back surgery and a mouth surgery. That put me back on opiates, that spun me right back out. And so I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be an absolute from darkness to light transformation Christian and find yourself back in a struggle, back in a battle with addiction. A lot of people have asked me, why am I doing this? Why am I writing for people who have passed away? And really the main catalyst is that in the last year I've lost 9 friends to opiate and other addiction-related overdoses or tragedies. And these were all people that I've shaken hands with, that I've hugged, that I've loved, that I've broke bread with, and so it's just hard for me. But also, when I first got saved, for 6 years I worked for a ministry, Mission of Hope Ministries in Mobile, Alabama. It was started by a man named Lonnie Miller, incredible man of God. Just gave his life, and he is the pattern with which I'm trying to live my life. He was the best mentor a man could have, almost like a dad, really. And so now it's run by Brandon Rogers, and he is just a super man of God. He has been there for years and years, preaching as he pastored different churches in the area. And he's one of the few preachers that comes out there, or that came out there, who would actually sit and talk with the guys. A lot of people come out, preach, and they're out the door. A lot of them come in and preach, make food, they'll talk with you for 10 or 20 minutes, and then they have to go. But Brandon has really devoted, his life to the men there. And I am so thankful for Brandon Rogers and for the love that he's shown me over the years. But while I was there working for the Mission of Hope, I had made my way up to intake director. So I take the phone calls, I field the phone calls of the families who want to get their people in the programs. And I will never forget, one day, we've only got a certain number of slots available, a certain number of beds available. I try to, recommend out any other place that I can. When we can't, when we don't have beds, when we didn't have beds. And there was one day that I was like, hey, look, we're not going to be able to bring him in until a month out. And so they said, okay, well, we'll set the date for that. Are you sure that there's no way you can get him in sooner? I said, I'm positive there's not. We just don't have the bed space. And so a couple of weeks later, I got the call from the mother where she said, I just wanted to let you know that my son has died from an overdose, and it's all your fault. If you would have just taken him when I called, then everything would be okay right now. And now I was 27 at the time, and I was young. I really took that hard. I actually internalized it. And now, after growing up and almost dying myself from overdose, it's very evident that sin is the issue. It's not people. It's not the people around you that cause it. They definitely take the brunt of what you do when you find yourself in an addictive process. But they don't cause what you do, the decision that you make to do the drugs or the alcohol, anything to the excess point that it, ruins your life. And so, that really hurt me. But yeah, so that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. That is why I want to start another rehab. I want to make as many beds available for people who need to get off of drugs and alcohol so that we don't see anyone else die from addiction. And I know God is capable of creating the place and the bed space. And I'm not backing down on my faith this time. So I'm sorry this was a super long intro. It's just stuff that I've been thinking about that I wanted to get off my chest that a lot of you don't know about me and why I'm riding my bicycle 6,000 miles this summer. 1,000 in February and March, and then however many more until Redeeming Eden Rehab, the garden, becomes a reality. So, yeah. Everything is packed up. I doubt I'm pointing at it. I can't see. It's very bright. And I'm here at the border of the National Wildlife Refuge. So I've seen some pretty neat birds and stuff here this morning as I was packing up. But yeah, let me turn and get the sun out of the camera. But yeah, so I'm going to get on the road. Got 46 miles to go to Hot Sulphur Springs, Colorado. Got to be there either this evening before the post office closes or in the morning when they open to receive some more stickers. And I've got news about the stickers coming out soon too. I can't release the information yet. But when I've prayed about everything and made everything completely, you know, tied together, then you guys are going to hear some cool news about the stickers and some other things. So, anyway, that's seriously enough of me jabbering. I know you guys are ready to see some of this beautiful scenery, so let me get on the road. I love you guys, and I will see you later. All right, so I'm here in lovely Rand. Maybe a town of 10? Maybe 10? I think it's 10. Might be 9. But I stopped here. They have a store. And so I got like a whole assortment of goodies. Some cheese sticks, some cheese wheels, some crackers, Coca-Cola, tuna fish snack, root beer, cranberry juice, and some Fig Newtons. Man. This is going to be my lunch for the day. So the egg scramble that I had bought for breakfast is one of those that you add water to and then you have to like fry in a pan. So I didn't get breakfast this morning. I had a little cup of oatmeal left. I was able to eat it. But yeah, that was a badger back there. I was riding my bike past and saw it and I was like, what in the world? So I went back and kind of took as close a video as I could get. I didn't want to get close to that guy.
Now watch this. Look, a snake's up in the tree. Honey badger don't care.
So I've been meditating for the last like 9 days on the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and today was temperance. And, you know, temperance, that's one of those, you know, key characteristics that we need as believers. You know, I've seen a lot of hellfire and brimstone, which is good. But, you know, that hellfire and brimstone kind of seems like it led to the 70s and people, you know, thinking that God is just this angry guy up there that wants to send them to hell because they sin. We all sin. We all fall short of the glory of God. You don't think so? Look in Leviticus. If you shaved your face today, Leviticus clearly says right before the tattoo verse, do not shave the corners of your beard. I think it even says after that, I am the Lord. And so, you know, we're going to be held accountable for all of that. But when you know, receive Jesus as Lord and Savior, not just Savior, but Lord, He pays that debt. He paid that debt at the cross for us. And so, you know, like when the thousands of days that you've shaved your face and God says, what about this? You get to say, hey, I put it on Jesus. And Jesus will say, hey, I take it on myself. And so it's just amazing, you know, the grace that God has. But temperance, I've been really thinking about it. And temperance is like with a knife. You know, you temper a knife to make it strong. If you don't temper it, it's worth nothing. It won't cut. And so temperance means you have to mix the love with the hellfire and brimstone. You will go to hell if you are not saved. Period. Plain and simple. But then again, on the other end of the coin, let's go away from the hellfire and brimstone. Then you had this whole Baptist movement with accept, believe, confess, the ABCs of salvation, and they always leave out D, which is die. You have to die to yourself. You can't just take, accept, believe, and confess and you're good to go. You have to die to yourself. And so, we have this whole spin of things going on that really we're responsible for, me included. Because we haven't had temperance. We've either been so hard one direction or so hard on grace that, that the knife won't cut. So, yeah, definitely a good thing today with my meditation. I've really been enjoying this ride this morning. And I'm starting to see the forest. So I'm excited about getting out of the sunlight. It's only going to be 80 degrees today, but still. Direct sunlight is hot. Anyway, I'm gonna eat. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Let's rewind that back. Do bulls with horns have udders? Well, it's hailing. You know what? I'm just gonna stand here and enjoy it. Here's a nice, beautiful, scenic roll of hail falling on the concrete. Does this count as a shower? I think it does. And that's what I get. I almost took a video of a sign back there that said icy road conditions may exist. And I thought to myself, ha! In August? In the Rockies? Not a chance. Well, that was a climb. It actually wasn't too bad. About 5 miles of just ink. But still, nothing has beat Mackenzie Pass. The first couple weeks in on the Transamerica, climbing up Mackenzie Pass like 5,000 feet and 12 miles or whatever it was. It was ridiculous. This hasn't been too bad at all. I really enjoyed this climb, believe it or not. Especially with that hail falling halfway up. I mean, it made me cold while climbing. And then I was wet, so it was still cold. And then I pretty much got dried off right as I got to the top here. And I've still got some cloud cover. But it does look like the sun is trying to peek through. So it'll be a nice warm ride down. Yeah, onward to Hot Sulphur Springs, Colorado. Here we come. Another strange thing is that it says the Pacific watershed is this way, and that's the way I'm going. But all that means, this is the 8th time that I've crossed the Continental Divide. So that's an even number, so I'm back on the side that I started on. To get over the Continental Divide to the Atlantic side and be done, it would have to be an odd number. So I think that the next pass I cross, Hoosier Pass, puts me on the Atlantic side for good. I think that's the last time I'll cross the Continental Divide. Will be 9 times total. But 8's plenty enough already. Alright, so I stopped here at the Outfitters Bait Shop Grill and got a jalapeno burger with some fries. I'm running into a problem. So I have to be in Hot Sulphur Springs at the post office. They don't open till noon tomorrow. Pioneer Park is closed for camping. There's nothing here. There's a couple motels. They are both booked full. So I'm going to spend the next little while trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do tonight. All right, well, as you can see, I'm camped here on the side of the road. I'm in BLM land. So it's amazing to me, like the political shifts. It's almost like you can cut it with a knife, a tempered knife. Hey, it holds its edge. But you know, going from like very democratic areas, Washington, Oregon, and now Colorado, with the mask mandates and the COVID regulations. Campgrounds closed, everything closed. We don't cater to campers. Our parks are still open. You can enjoy those, but you can't like sleep somewhere for the night. And then like the Republican areas, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and just seeing the radical shift in like the way everything is being done right now. It's almost kind of like just not scary, but weird. Get into town here in Hot Sulphur Springs, thinking I'm going to camp in Pioneer Park. Pioneer Park is closed to campers. You can use the park, can't camp. Hot Sulphur Springs, you can use the hot springs, you can't camp. Their lodge is closed. Asked around, they said, find a guy named Butch. He'll let you put your tent up in his yard. Look for Butch, couldn't find him. Ran into a guy named VJ. VJ was like, hey, if everything falls through, you can camp at my house. Didn't really tell me quite where his house was. Kind of just gave me general information, but not enough to find him. And so I was like, okay. So 911 is becoming like the #1 dialed number that I make next to my family on this trip. So I called 911, said, hey, it's not an emergency. Just got to find somewhere to sleep. And they said, oh yeah, no problem. There's some BLM land. You know, everything here is closed, but BLM land, it's maybe just a little less than a mile up the road and maybe 100 feet, 150 feet of elevation climb. I said, oh, thank God. So I started up this mountain. Let me drop the stats backwards back down to the post office for you here. Yeah, so 472 feet up in 1.5 miles. It was just like, and then this, you know, dirt road to boot. So every now and then my low gear would just spin the back tire and I'd kind of stop my feet. I'd have to unclip. It was crazy. But I'm in BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. So I am allowed to camp just like this on the side of the road. But I'm done. Like, good news is, I don't know if you can see it, but the cell tower is on this hill. So I've got 5 bars of 4G. So I'll be able to upload. I just uploaded yesterday's video, just actually before I started filming this. I watched it complete. But I'll be able to upload this one when I get it cut and edited tonight. So yeah, I've got to get started on that. I'm done for the day. If you know anyone who's passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments or find me on Facebook, Adam Lineberry, Mobile, Alabama, and I would love to ride for your person and celebrate their life with you for a day. If you know anyone who's actively addicted, share this with them. I don't want to see anybody else die from addiction, and there are too many free places available to help that just want to talk. Hey, I'll talk. Anything. Just share it. If you know anyone who's in recovery, share this with them. I need the recovery community's prayers as much as I pray for the recovery community every day. And don't forget that Redeeming Eden is a nonprofit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. I will leave a donation link in the description. Just click the down arrow and you can find it. You can donate one time. You can donate monthly. It's whatever the Lord puts on your heart. If He puts it on your heart to pray, then just pray. But know that any funds above what it takes to do the cycle tour will go toward building the rehab that we're working on pedaling toward together. So thank you so much for subscribing, clicking the red subscribe button. Thank you so much for sharing the videos, for liking the videos. This is really a grassroots movement to start a rehab, and I need your help and your support to get it done. I cannot do it by myself. But I'm thankful that you're there helping and supporting and praying. And yeah, from here on BLM land, 472 feet above Hot Sulphur Springs, Colorado. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.